The Indiana Fever should have been celebrating one of the biggest moments of their season. Instead, the internet spent the next 24 hours arguing about a teammate's reaction. Late in a tense battle against the Washington Mystics, Caitlin Clark delivered exactly the kind of moment fans have come to expect from a superstar. With the clock nearly expired and the game hanging in the balance, Clark buried a clutch three-pointer that gave Indiana a dramatic victory. It was the type of shot that instantly belongs on highlight reels, the type of shot players dream about taking. But somehow, the game-winning basket wasn't the only thing people were talking about. Within minutes of the final buzzer, social media was flooded with clips, screenshots, and debates. Not about Clark's shooting form, not about the defensive breakdown that left her open. Instead, fans became obsessed with a completely different question. Did everyone on the Fever bench react the same way to the shot? And that question quickly turned into one of the biggest WNBA discussions of the week. The game itself had already been filled with pressure. Indiana desperately needed a win. Every possession mattered. Every mistake felt magnified. Clark had moments where she looked brilliant and moments where she looked frustrated. In fact, just before the game winner, Clark missed free throws that could have changed the entire ending. For many players, that's the kind of sequence that sticks in your head, not Clark. Instead of letting those misses define her night, she stayed aggressive. She kept attacking. She kept creating opportunities for teammates. And when Indiana got one final chance to steal the game, she was ready. The Fever called timeout. The arena was buzzing. Everyone knew exactly what was at stake. One possession, one chance, one shot that could decide everything. The ball was inbounded. Washington's defense made a gamble, and Clark suddenly found herself with just enough space. The moment the ball left her hands, fans inside the arena started rising from their seats. Then the shot dropped. Indiana took the lead. The crowd erupted. Teammates jumped to their feet. And for a few seconds, it looked like a perfect ending. But then the replays started. Fans watching the footage noticed something they believed looked unusual. Kelsey Mitchell, one of Indiana's most important players, didn't appear to celebrate with the same level of emotion some viewers expected. Immediately, the internet went to work. Clips were slowed down. Screenshots were shared. Body language experts suddenly appeared across social media. Some fans argued Mitchell looked disappointed. Others said she simply looked exhausted after a hard-fought game, and that's where the debate exploded. Because people weren't evaluating that moment in isolation. They were bringing months of previous conversations into the discussion. Ever since Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, nearly everything surrounding her has generated intense reactions. Her popularity changed television ratings. Her games attracted massive crowds. Her highlights dominated sports media. Supporters viewed her rise as transformational for the league. Critics sometimes argued the attention became excessive. As a result, every interaction involving Clark has been analyzed more closely than almost any player in recent WNBA history. That's why a simple reaction clip suddenly became national conversation material. Fans who already believed some veterans were uncomfortable with Clark's spotlight saw confirmation. Fans who disagreed saw a harmless moment being blown completely out of proportion. The truth is that body language can be incredibly difficult to interpret. People celebrate differently. Some players scream, some players freeze. Some players need several seconds to process what just happened. But once a debate begins online, nuance usually disappears. And this debate was only getting started because after the game came the press conference. That's when another layer was added to the story. Indiana head coach Stephanie White praised Clark's performance. She acknowledged her talent. She credited her for making a huge play. But one particular detail grabbed everyone's attention. White explained that the original design of the final possession involved other options as well. From a basketball perspective, that explanation made complete sense. Most late-game plays include multiple reads. Coaches create options. Defenses react. Players adjust. The final result isn't always the first choice. That's basketball, but many fans didn't focus on that part. Instead, they focused on the timing.